So we're gonna start off with freshly washed and moisturized hair. My hair was actually in a ponytail for a couple of days and I need to stretch it a little bit more. So I just added some heat protectant to my hair and then I used my blow drying brush just to straighten it out a little bit more. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and section my hair off. As you saw in the beginning, this hairstyle has cornrows in the front and then the back is curly, which is actually a sew-in. So I'm gonna put the section where my cornrows is gonna be in two just separate sections and tucked away because I'm gonna start on the back. So as you can see, I already have the two pieces in the front. That's gonna be my cornrow area. I'm gonna clip that away and then I'm gonna blow dry the back and then work on the back first. So now that the back is straightened out with my blow drying brush, I'm gonna go ahead and start on my cornrows. I don't need to do too many cornrows because I don't know, you just don't really need to do so. I just did 6 in total, but the way that I cornrowed my hair, since my hair is about armpit length, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the first braid, and the second braid, once I get to the bottom, I'm gonna connect with the first braid, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with the third braid, connecting those two with the third, etc., until my hair at the end is all one braid. So with this braid, you can see what I'm talking about. As you can see, I have 2 already connected. I'm gonna connect those 2 with the third, and I'm gonna keep doing that until the entire back of my hair is sewn in. And then as my base for my sewing, I'm gonna put this wig cap liner in my head. But first, let me go ahead and tuck that one single braid in my hair, and then I'm gonna put the wig cap on top of it. Now, while I was recording, I just wanted to show you guys exactly what I see out my window because it's crazy.
Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
Florida life for you. Yep, that's a little alligator that sits in the lake by my house and he was just peeking out, so I decided to show you guys what I was seeing in front of me. But let's just jump back into the hairstyle. Now, I feel like the major thing about this hairstyle is the braids in the front. It actually makes the hairstyle pop depending on what design you want to choose. And I took so much time with my parting. I found that adding edge control to the roots of your hair before you're parting, you can get the straightest part. So that's what I did. And then I'm gonna start off with my first braid. My first braid is the middle braid. So that took me a while to just get that centered. But once I got it centered, I'm gonna go ahead and do the feed-in method with my braid. Now you're gonna see me do this step over and over and over again, but this one right here is just gonna be in normal time. I'm just gonna keep feeding in just little pieces of canker line here to my hair until I get the thickness that I want and the length that I want. Because remember, in the style in the beginning, when you guys saw the final product, my braids was just as long as my extensions. So that's what I'm trying to achieve with this braid. Now, once you get towards the end of the braid, just make sure you're paying attention to, like I said, the thickness of the braid, and then also just consistently comb your hair with the canker line hair so it blends a little bit more. And if you even have to, you can add some gel or edge control to just make sure that your natural hair or your relaxed hair blends with the canker line hair. Next, I'm gonna do the side braids. The side braids are actually going forward. This was very difficult to do. I have never braided my hair from the back going forward, so it was kind of odd for me to do, but I think I did a pretty good job. You're just doing the same cornrow, the feed-in method, but you're just braiding your hair from the back, moving it to the front, which I feel like I've said like 4 times, but just keep paying attention to the thickness and the length of the hair and you should be fine. Next, I'm going to do my diagonal parts. I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing before, is adding edge control to my scalp, using the back of my rat tail comb to make my clean parts, and then complete the feed-in method. Now, if you want more of a detailed feed-in method, I will link a card above with one of the hairstyles that I've done that's similar to this, where I break it down on how I do the feed-in method if you're trying to do it yourself and make it look professional. It's super easy. So just if you have any questions, definitely pay attention to the card above and check out that video once you're done with this one. And I'm just basically just repeating the same steps, parting my hair, braiding it, parting my hair, braiding it. The pattern that I have going on is I'm having just the middle part, the two ends that are straight, and then the middle sections of each section, if that makes sense, is gonna be diagonal parts. Wanted to add an extra design, so I decided to do a zigzag part for my last two braids. I'm gonna add the edge control to the base of my hair and then proceed with doing again the feed-in method until the right side is complete. Edges are very precious to me, so I make sure that when I'm braiding my hair that I'm not braiding too tight for my edges, and the way I can do that is by doing a flat twist on the base of my hair where my edges start, and then I go ahead and transition that into a cornrow. This just saves my edges and helps me not have too much tension on it because your edges are precious to you. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna continue to braid my hair the same way I was doing on the left side. Now on the right side, when I was trying to do that zigzag, it was not working. I swear to you, it took me 15 minutes to try to just get the zigzag to look exactly the way it looked on the left. I was trying over and over and over again. I was trying different methods. Maybe if I part it in the middle and then zigzag around it, it would look the right way. It just was not working. And eventually I just gave up and I just said, you know what? The zigzag is just gonna be on one braid or one part, and I'm just gonna make the rest just straight. Like I just gave up because it was just too frustrating. So you're gonna see me just end up just leaving the line straight. But I'm basically almost done with the front of my hair. The front of my hair took about, I would say about hour and a half to complete because the parting was like the biggest thing. And then after the front of my braids is done, I'm gonna go ahead and work with the back of my hair. But I just wanna show you guys just a close up of what the front looks like. Now I had to put the net back on because it fell off. I'm gonna go ahead and sew some extensions in the back. You can use crochet here if you'd like, but I prefer to use some extensions because I think it makes the style look a little bit more natural and it's not gonna be as, I don't know how to word it, but usually when I've used synthetic hair, in this case, it tends to tangle a lot. So I decided to just opt for using just natural human hair. And the hair that I'm actually sewing onto my hair is my Nubian Goddess Tropical Curl. If you guys want to check hair out, it's on my website, HairDeLaCreme.com. I will have a link below to this texture, but I'm double wefting the hair. I'm using the inches 24, 22, and 20 inches in my hair. I use the full 24 inches, some of the 22 inches and some of the 20 inches in my hair, but I'm double wefting. And then also, if you just notice, I know that I'm like going super fast with the clip. It's like on super speed, but when you get to the area where you fold over, just sew that fold into the back of the braid. That helps hide your tracks. So that's just a small tip right there. And then also I realized when I was recording this and also when I was doing my sewing that my spacing is kind of spaced out too much. So if that's the case where your spacing between your tracks is too much and you can kind of see the base of your hair or the net, you can just go back and just add some hair. I'm just doing the fold over method because I want to use this hair again for another wig, another install. So I didn't want to cut my wefts. So I'm just going to fold the tracks together. And then when you get to the top, in order to hide the tracks, you're going to sew the opposite way. So you're going to sew away from your face, if that makes sense. I think so. But anyway, you flip the hair upside down and you'll sew it so that your tracks are facing each other. That way, when you flip the curly hair over, you're not seeing the tracks, you're just seeing hair, and it looks like it's growing right out of your scalp. And like I said, once I was done sewing it and I had any extra wefts left over, I just went in and filled in the spaces so it's nice and full in the back and it looks like how it looked in the beginning. Last but not least, it's time to bead your hair. Now, you're gonna see in this clip that I'm using these wood beads. I did add the wood beads to my braids, but in the morning, it was just too heavy and I just wasn't liking the way it looked. So I opted on different type of beads. But in here, I'm just showing you guys how I beaded my hair. You can use any pattern you want with the beads that you're using. I will link below where I purchased these big wood beads from. I actually purchased them from AliExpress. So I'll link it below on the store that I used. But I'm just showing you guys exactly how I did the wood beads. And then I'm also gonna show you guys how I finished the ending of my beads. Now, I guess the concept of the style is you want your braids to end where your hair ends. So when I'm beading my hair, when I'm finishing off my bead, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add a rubber band to like finish it off. And I'm gonna do it so that it's the length of where my extensions end. So I just keep paying attention to it. So right here, I'm gonna put on the last bead. Well, actually I have to braid my hair a little bit because it was kind of hard to push the beads through and I didn't have like that bead thingy thing. I forgot what it's called. So I'm just braiding my hair so that I can go ahead and fold my my braid and push the bead through it. And then once I push the bead through it, I'm gonna measure to see where the end of my hair is of my extensions in the back. And then I'm gonna loop my hair around. I'm gonna add a rubber band around that loop and the bead, and then I'm gonna cut off the excess braid. And this is the final look, guys. As you can see, I switched my beads up. The style took about 3.5 hours to finish. And I think most of the time came from me doing my parting in my hair to make sure it looks kind of neat and decent for my video. But this is the final look. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to leave them below. I will try to do all the links of all the products that I used in this video below. I try to upload every week, but it's kind of hard because I work full-time, 50 hours a week. But if you want to binge watch, you can watch these 2 videos here or go to any one of my playlists to look at more videos. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video.